Today, every day, small cap investors visit Agoracom knowing this is the day to discover the world's next great company, to have their dreams come true. That's why I take to the open road, to find them, to tell their stories, to engage them, to bring them to life, because they want to connect with you from your office, your phone, your home, anywhere. Agoracom, find your dream.
Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Agoracom, which we take the time to speak with small cap executives about what's happening at their companies. With us today, happy to have back again the infamous Sheldon Inwentash, chairman and CEO at 3D Capital, trades on the CSE under the stock symbol IDK. Now, Sheldon, the company, really don't need an introduction, but to remind those of you who may be new for the first time, 3D Capital is a venture capital firm that's focused on opportunistic investments in disruptive, leading-edge technologies, and not forgetting its roots in the junior resources space. More than just lip service, Sheldon has financed some of Canada's biggest small-cap exits. Sheldon, welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thanks, George. Good to see you.
All right, well, before we get to anything about 3D Capital, I know everyone at home is going to want to hear your take on the crazy market that transpired over the last 12 months. What do you make of that ride?
Well, you know, it was a very selective market. I think it was predominantly about cannabis, certainly here in Canada. And that market was extremely volatile as companies launched, but the rec market had not yet been approved until, I think, October 17th. So expectations were up and down, and I think that tended to drive a lot of the other companies in the small cap space. Also, a very poor year for the whole precious metals. So junior mining is really a staple here in Canada, as well as junior oil and gas. And oil and gas, as everyone knows, also took a hit on it. So really, there was one game in town, and that was the cannabis space. I believe that the month of December, which showed tremendous volatility in the U.S. as well, with all kinds of issues around the tariff war with China, interest rates, obviously the White House, led to a significant amount of tax law selling. And really, I believe it all bottomed and washed out in late December. And I'm looking forward to a very prolific year for the small cap or junior company space.
Sheldon, with that in mind, because definitely that's what happened in the markets back in 2018. More importantly, what people want to hear from you is because you've been through all this, you've been through these massive roles in the market. What do you see come up in the next 12 months?
Well, I really believe that this is going to be the beginning of the new precious metal cycle. I believe that you've seen a lot of suppression here, mainly because of a strong U.S. dollar. But I think that a lot of the issues in the world are going to come to a head, and there's going to be a flight to not safety, but to gold, and it's all the derivatives around that space. But I also believe that this is no longer a market of just gold or oil and gas or any specific area that has been sort of historically the choices. I believe that there's going to be a very strong market in very specific situations. So special sits where companies are doing great things out there, but don't fit into the traditional, say, resource vertical.
So let me ask you about a couple of specific verticals in addition to that. So let's talk about cannabis first of all. With all the volatility in the last half of the year, where do you see cannabis going forward? Is it going to be a rising tide lifts all boats, or we can start to get that separation now between the doers and the talkers?
Yeah, I think that's a good point, George. I believe now that companies are going to have to start reporting on what actually they produced and their cost controls, probably in the first quarter of this year, and it's going to really start to shake out the real people and the pretenders. I believe that the focus, as we know, I think Canada, play with the grow-ups, if you will, are behind us. So I believe that really the focus will be on the cannabidiols, not the recreational side, where I believe that there's going to be combination therapies of different sets of cannabidiols and active ingredients that are going to create new drugs that really are going to be organic because of the whole plant side, that are going to really have meaningful solutions for today's medical problems. I think that a lot of the taking of the cannabis products were for pain, sleep, anxiety, and so forth, low-hanging fruit. But I believe that there are a lot of medical conditions that no work has ever been done because it was banned by the DEA in America. And so no work's ever been done on the cannabidiols, even though they were never harmful to people. So this is going to be the next phase. It's going to be true biotech, not companies that call themselves biotech.
Two more industries. One is crypto/blockchain. I know they're separate, but a lot of people tie them together. And you obviously moved into the blockchain space last year. So where do you see the next 12 months for blockchain and crypto?
Yeah, so I believe that it's all about blockchain. Blockchain has a real value proposition for businesses and will be part of a foundational layer to many corporations. The problem with the approach towards blockchain is it was really focusing on cryptocurrencies. But blockchain, when provided as a solution, the node or the token that allows you to use the blockchain, when it has real value, that's when it turns into what we call a cryptocurrency. But the real value that blockchain will enable companies in terms of more efficiency in their business, removing middlemen, the immutability of it, I think has an amazing future. And I believe that this year we're going to start seeing real commercial applications for the blockchain.
And the last one is the world of augmented reality. I know that you feel kind of positive about AR. That's been around for a while. You think this is, in the next 12 months, it's going to start to make its move?
I do, because I believe that the technology that was used in AR, which required glasses and limited scope, has now been superseded by mobile versions that you can actually avoid using glasses, and it has a real business value. And in terms of bringing in users, making the experience of those users a lot better and affect their behavior, which will really add to the stickiness that everybody's competing for in getting their audiences to buy their products and to show loyalty towards their products.
So let's talk about 3D Capital and how you're positioned to take advantage of the next 12 months in the resources space, in the crypto, cannabinoid, augmented reality, because you've been in a self-imposed kind of quiet period, and that usually means Sheldon's up to something and building things. So, what's in store for the next 12 months, and how are you going to take advantage of all these different opportunities?
Well, we've been incubating companies for some years now, and my feeling is that before you talk about them, make sure that if it's technology, it works, there's a market, and that it can grow. And this is going to be a year for one of our top picks, which is GoldSpot, which is an AI application for the hard rock mining industry, which is pretty archaic. And GoldSpot is going through a public raise now and should trade here shortly. And I'm very optimistic about that as it dovetails into a precious metals market. Augmented reality, we talked about. We've invested in a company called Imagination Park. I had to do a bit of restructuring on the company because of its historical track record. But now the company is really poised to take on a multi-industry application, sports, etc., which has proven to be very valuable for certainly the amount of capital that companies are spending to reach out to their audiences. And because it's mobile, it can be widely used.
Yeah, and I've seen that technology firsthand. Sorry to interrupt. I've actually seen that technology firsthand. I was blown away by it here in Toronto, so I'm looking forward to their commercial rollout.
From what we see, we don't see anybody else doing this, so we're extremely optimistic about Imagination Park. The other one that's also has, I think the time has come, is a company called Gratomic, where it's a mine. I'm leaving on Sunday to go to Namibia, where basically we have an operating mine that produces high-grade graphite that we then ship to our venture partner in Wales and turn into graphene. We're targeting the efficient tire market, basically the aftermarket, that we believe the traits of this graphene will be graphene-enhanced tires, and this should be our year of commerciability.
Yeah, and to play devil's advocate there for Sheldon, and there's some even speculation online, and sometimes you can't blame people, not about you or Gratomic, but graphene for a long time has been, has been talked about as that wonder material. How confident are you, because you made a great press release just a little while ago on the Gratomic side, that you'll be, at commercial production 2019?
Yes, well, I think the two stumbling blocks or barriers to commerciability, we have to remember that graphene was isolated in 2004 as an atom that could be produced. It's man-made. It's a major breakthrough in physical products. And to really be a commercial company, you have to show repeatability of those results. So consistency of specs and scalability. So how can you scale without having a cost structure that is prohibitive for companies to basically use graphene? And we believe that we've solved both those issues, and we're going to prove that this year.
Last question on the biopharmaceutical cannabis side of things. You've got a couple of investments there. Psycan is one of them, and they've announced a couple partnerships with FSD Pharma. How's that looking?
Well, we're very excited. We're doing some real leading edge research. We've really got some great results in irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, that whole intestinal disease category. In addition, we just announced that we're now doing some liver studies that we believe that our indications are in the work that we've seen, basically animal studies that we do at the University of Tel Aviv. And then in the case of IBS, we're starting clinical trials, human clinical trials in Pittsburgh. So we're really excited because this was a vacuum of research because of the illegality, if you will, of the plant, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And, we believe that we're probably the first firm that's really tackling a number of these very chronic and deadly diseases.
How far away do you think Psycan may be from listing on a public market? Is that possible in 2019, or is that going to be a little further out?
I would say in the next 18 months, we could see that occurring.
All right, so you've got some great things. You got Gold Spot coming to market. Gratomic obviously is already in market. Psycan coming to market a little further forward. You made a big investment, so this is the last question because we can't go over the entire portfolio, even though I'm sure at one point we're going to. You, IDK made a big investment in Toda Q. That's a blockchain-powered bank of the future. $500,000 U.S. commitment. You're going to get preferred shares and royalty rights on some notes. Can we expect to see more of those kind of investments out of 3D Capital now that 2019 is underway?
Yes.
Eddie, can I prod you for any more information on that, or just going to hold on yes?
No, we're reviewing a lot of projects, obviously. We have quite a pipeline. We have a number of companies that are in our portfolio that are going to be coming public shortly, which are going to provide, more capital availability to us. And, yes, I think that we're going to continue to grow and probably, get on more people's radar screen.
Well, Sheldon, look, I appreciate you. You're on your way out of the country pretty soon, so your Friday is obviously jam-packed, but we've been promising people online that we're going to get you on for an interview. I appreciate that you took the time. Good luck in Namibia. Maybe we'll have another interview from there and see how the mine is going, but have a great trip, and thanks again for being with us today.
Thanks, George. Good seeing you.
You've been watching Sheldon Inwentash, the chairman and CEO of 3D Capital. The company trades on the CAC under the stock symbol IDK. For more information about the company, obviously get stuff to Agoracom, punch in the company's name and or stock symbol, read all the information you need, post your questions. We'll make sure you get your answers. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a fantastic day. See you next time.